Come give Cuba a makeover with me. First I started with taking his filthy rug off, which I forgot to bring a clean one, so I had to put a dirty one back on, but just want to show you what we are working with. Then it took me ages to hose him down, and then I struggled so much to put rubber gloves on, so this was progress I made with scrubbing him with the rubber gloves on. It took me like a whole 10 minutes to rub all this in. It was a dye shampoo, it's like a brown horse dye, which I don't really use, but I did run out of other shampoos. This was my final option. I did have a hole in my glove, so I looked like I had a fake tan, and then Cuba got the water in the wrong spot and did some big butt clenches. Then I hosed everything off, then decided to brush out his mane, put some conditioner in there, give it a nice scrub. He's one who does not like water near his head, but he copes with it. I don't tie him up in the wash bay. I like to let him do what he wants to do with his head. And then I was trying to do his white feet, and he kept picking them up thinking I was trying to like pick out his feet, which is super cute. And then he tried to give me an itch, and then did the other foot. They were actually pretty clean. And then this is probably the hardest bit, is washing his face, because he won't let me put the hose on it and I don't want to stress him out with it. So I wet baby wipes and then one by one clean his face and then put conditioner on it and then scrub his face, getting every little yucky thing off. He was actually really good today. Super chill, kept in the same spot, and then let me wash all of that back off, which was super good. And then I didn't realise, but I rubbed my shoulder past him and got dye all over my shoulder. But then I hosed him down, got everything out of his mane, and then doing his tail was super satisfying. I put it at the top on like full blast and then just let everything wash out. I do this like 3 times and then squeeze it out, and by the end everything's already all gone out of it. And then I decided to hose him down again and then cut his tail, because who would actually give me scissors? I'm not one to keep Cuba's tail short. This is probably the shortest I've ever cut it, and I was okay with it. It actually looked pretty nice. And then his mane was super glossy from the conditioner. It looked so nice. It almost had some curls in there. And then I gave him some treats, brushed him down with the dandy brush just to get every little last thing off, and I put him in the room to dry because it was raining outside, which he didn't dry super well, but that's okay. Then I put some Repel and Repair on a little spot of itch he has, then fly sprayed his legs and his face where his rug doesn't reach, because the flies seem to get in through the back of his fly mask. So I put the spray all over his cheeks, and then Cuba well deserved a treat after all that torture. And then he was very excited for his dinner. Thank you for watching.